In today's video, I'm going to break down Framer versus Webflow versus Wix so you can actually decide which no-code website builder makes sense for you. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and if you've been trying to build a website but you're stuck choosing between these tools, this is going to make it a lot clearer because this is where so many people get stuck. You start researching, everything sounds good, and somehow you end up more confused than when you originally started. And the truth is, all these platforms work great. You can build a great website on any of them, but they're built very differently. And if you choose the wrong one for how you like to work, it can slow you down or make the process way more frustrating than it needs to be. So instead of just comparing features, I'm going to walk through how each one actually feels to use, what they're best for, and where each one makes the most sense. So let's get into it. To begin, all three of these platforms are no-code website builders, which means you can design and launch a website without writing any code. You're essentially using a visual editor to build your pages, structure your content, and publish everything live. But even though they fall into the same category, they really are built with completely different priorities. So first off, Wix is built for simplicity. It's designed so anyone can jump in, drag things around, and get a website live without thinking too much about how it works behind the scenes. Webflow is built for control. Gives you a lot more precision and flexibility, but it does expect you to understand how websites are structured, which is why it does have a bit more of a learning curve. And lastly, Framer. So Framer is built around design and speed. It feels much more like a design tool, and the goal is to make building a site feel natural instead of super technical. So right away, this isn't just a feature comparison, it's about how you want the building process to actually feel. The main difference between these platforms really comes down to how much control you want versus how simple you want things to be. So Wix is the most beginner friendly. You can move things around freely, use templates, and get something live super quickly without needing to understand layout systems or structure. It's really easy to use, but that also means you're more limited to how far you can customize things. Webflow gives you a lot more control. You're working with structure, layout systems, and classes that behave more like real development. That's what makes it so powerful, but it's also why it takes longer to learn. Now, Framer takes a completely different approach. It removes a lot of that complexity without taking away your creative freedom. You're still building a real website, but it feels more like designing than building. So instead of choosing between simple and powerful, Framer is giving you both. Framer is really interesting because of how fast and natural the process feels. Everything happens in one place. You're designing the layout, adding content, and building interactions without needing to think about code or structure in a technical way. If you've ever designed a tool before, it feels very familiar. You're not translating a design into a website, you're simply building it directly. It also makes modern design so much easier. Things like animations and transitions and clean layouts don't require any extra setup. You can create something that feels polished without overcomplicating it. Where Framer really stands out is speed. You can go from idea to live site super quick without getting stuck in any setup or learning curves. It's especially strong for landing pages, personal brands, portfolios, and marketing sites where you care about how it looks and how quickly you can get it live. The main limitation is when you start getting into more complex content-heavy builds. It's not trying to replace a full development environment. It's focused on making design-driven sites simple and fast. Now, Webflow is built for a different kind of workflow. It gives you full control over how your site is structured, which makes it a strong option if you're building something more complex or planning to scale over time. But that control comes with a trade-off. You need to understand how layouts work, how elements are structured, and how everything connects. It's not something most people pick up instantly. It definitely can take time to learn, and it can slow you down in the beginning. But once you understand it, it can be very powerful. You can build more advanced websites, manage dynamic content, and create systems that are more structured. So Webflow is less about speed and more about control. It's a better fit if you know you need that level of depth. Moving on to Wix. So Wix is the easiest to get started with. You can open it, pick a template, move things around, and have a website live pretty quickly without needing to learn anything technical. That's why it's such a common starting point for beginners. It also comes with a lot built in, which makes it feel very plug and play. But over time, that simplicity can start to feel limiting. You don't get the same level of flexibility or creative control, and it can be hard to customize things beyond what the platform actually allows. Again, Wix is great if your main goal is just getting something online quickly without thinking about it too much. If we're looking at ease of use, Wix is definitely the simplest. It requires the least amount of learning and gets you up and running fast. Framer is also very easy easy to use, but in a different way. It feels a bit more modern and design focused, so once you understand the basics, it's very smooth and intuitive. Webflow is the hardest to learn, not because it's bad, but because it's just doing more. You need to understand how things are structured for everything to work properly. So if your priority is pure simplicity, Wix is the easiest. If you want something that still feels easy, but gives you more flexibility and better design, Framer is really a strong middle ground. And if you're okay with a big learning curve and want full control, Webflow is definitely the most advanced option. Okay, now I want to talk about speed versus control versus flexibility, because this is what it really comes down to. Wix prioritizes speed and simplicity, but limits flexibility. Webflow prioritizes control and flexibility, but slows down the process. Framer sits in the middle, but leans toward speed, while still giving you a lot of creative freedom. For most people, especially if you're building your first or second site, speed matters more than control. Getting something live and improving it over time is usually better than getting stuck trying to build something that's perfect. And that's where Framer starts to make a lot of sense. So now let's talk about the different plans and pricing options. I'm going to go ahead and start with Wix. So Wix has a bunch of different options: the Lite, the Core, the Business, and the Business Elite. The Lite plan starts at $17 per month. You get the lowest amount of storage, the Lite marketing suite, and 2 site collaborators. Then they've got the Core plan, so this is $29 per month. You get a bit more storage, you get a basic marketing suite, so it is upgraded from the Lite, and then you also get basic e-commerce functions and the 5 site collaborators. And then they've got the Business, which is $39 per month. Everything is essentially upgraded, so more storage, better marketing suite, the better e-commerce tools, and then more site collaborators. Lastly is the Business Elite plan, and this is $159 per month. You get, of course, everything in the business plan, but you get unlimited storage space, advanced marketing and e-commerce platform, and then the advanced developer platform, and you also can have 100 site collaborators, so you can allow it to grow with you. Then we've got Webflow. So they've got, again, a couple different options here. They do have a free plan that you can check out. Then they've got a basic plan, which is $14 per month, billed yearly. You get things like 150 pages, Webflow AI, unlimited form submits, web app hosting, and more. And then they've got the CMS plan. So this is ideal for blogs and SEO-driven pages built with structured content. So this is $23 a month, billed yearly. You get 20 CMS collections, 2,000 CMS items, Webflow AI, more bandwidth, and then 3 legacy editor users as well. Lastly is their business plan, and this is $39 per month, billed yearly. You get everything in the CMS plan, but just everything upgraded. So 10,000 CMS, which you also can upgrade, but the price will also go ahead and reflect that. More bandwidth, again, you can go ahead and upgrade that as well, but the price will also reflect that. And now lastly is Framer, the perfect middle ground. So they've got a couple different plans here. They've got the basic, the pro, and the scale. If you pay annually, because that's how you're going to get the best price possible, it's $10 per month. You get a free custom domain. You can connect your own domain, AI-powered design tools, fast and secure hosting, and then built-in SEO. Then they've got their pro plan, which is $30 per month paid annually. With this, you get everything in the basic plan, but you get the staging and instant rollback, roles and permissions, relational CMS, site redirects, A/B testing, and multiple locals. These last 2 are add-ons, just so you know. And lastly is the scale plan. So this is $100 per month plus usage. So with this, you get custom local regions, event and funnels, priority support, premium CDN, flexible limits, and then advanced hosting as an add-on. So choose the plan that best fits your needs. You also can go ahead and request a trial for the enterprise as well. If you want to check out any of those links, we do have them down in the description below. Okay, now let's dive into the pros and cons. So Framer's biggest advantage is how fast and intuitive it feels. You can build and launch a clean, modern site without needing to think about technical details, and the design experience feels very natural. The downside is that it's not built for highly complex, structured websites, so it may feel a bit limiting in more advanced use cases. Webflow's strength is control. You can build more complex and scalable websites, but it does come with a steeper learning curve and takes more time to get comfortable with it. It's better suited for people who need that level of flexibility. And then Wix is the easiest to use and the fastest to get started. It's a really great option if you want something simple, but it can feel a bit limiting as your needs grow or if you want more design flexibility. If you want the simplest option and just need something live quickly, Wix is definitely the easiest place to start. If you're building something more complex and you want full control over structure and scalability, then Webflow is the better long-term choice. But for most people starting today, especially if you care about design, speed, and actually getting your site live without a steep learning curve, Framer is the best and easiest place to start. It really gives you a balance that the other two don't. You're not stuck in a limited system like Wix, and you're not dealing with the complexity of Webflow. So if you're truly unsure, Framer is really the safest place to start. I know how overwhelming it can feel trying to choose between these tools, especially when everything online makes it seem like there's not one perfect answer. But most of the time, the best choice is the one that helps you actually get started in moving the needle forward. If you want to try these yourself, don't forget to use our links down in the description below. These links will get you the best offers possible. I also do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much in advance for supporting our channel. It really helps us to continue to create free content just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. This channel is dedicated to helping you build your website with simple tools and easy steps. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.